Greetings, it's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. Thank you to the people that pinged me and said, dude, are you okay? I'm doing okay, thanks. And coming up very shortly, I have an annual surprise. uh, my birthday is the 23rd of March, and so I wanted to officially blame my mom and my dad for all of my happiness and all of my success. It's all your fault. um, and so, and you know, it's interesting. Now that I think about it, I'm probably coming in, closing in on 100 videos so far this year. I certainly have more than 100 on the channel, and actually, I think I did a couple every day. I know I did at least one every day since January 1st with my commitment, but to myself. But I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so close to 100. So that's kind of cool. Kind of a cool milestone. I will celebrate privately and/or publicly when that really does occur. So here's the thing I wanted to talk about. I did a video a few ago on expectations. And my expectation on how long it'll take me to get through the line in the grocery store, my expectation on my experience that I will have with Spirit Airlines versus Southwest Airlines and JetBlue and all this, and so various sort of brands and products, services, things you buy, that sort of thing. And I had a conference call this morning with a group that I'm working with, and their marketing team. This was the call 2 weeks after this marketing team had made a commitment to us to come up with some logos. Let me plug this in so the screen doesn't keep dimming. To come up with some logos and some website landing pages as examples for basically 3 organizations, one of which I'm the president of, on the board of directors, and then 2 more that we're trying to sort of bring into a huge group of user groups, so that people will have a very similar experience when they go from user group A to user group B to user group C, because it's all part of users and customers that buy products from this huge company. So if you will, imagine, let's say, like General Electric, right, or Procter & Gamble, that have hundreds of brands. Imagine if you had sort of like user groups or meetups or sort of technical groups of people that got together and were very passionate about one specific thing. So if everyone who loved Tide soap got together, and but when you went to the Tide soap meetup, or you went to the, what's another Procter and Gamble brand? I think Gillette. I think it's got bought by Procter and Gamble. I'm not sure. Anyway, second item, right? Second brand. They get together and they talk about it, and they come up with solutions. Hey, if I use the razor this way, then it's better than if I use it. Whatever. Very simplistic. But my point, and the reason I bring this up, is we're sort of reinventing ourselves in the sense that we will be coming up with a new name, we'll be coming up with a new tagline, possibly, and we'll definitely be getting a new logo and a new website and basically new branding. Okay, so these people come to us, and these are very well-paid people, and presumably talented. And they work for a global company. And so they present to us, okay, so here are some logos and here are some others. And I'm just sitting there and I'm trying to like set realistic expectations. The reason I started this video today. What are my expectations? And if my expectations are too high, then potentially it's a premeditated resentment, right? Like if I expect everybody to be able to fly, and I go upstairs and go outside and people are walking around, I'll be like, all right, what the hell's going on? This doesn't meet my expectation, and then I get angry, whatever. Again, pretty sophomoric example, but you get it, right? So anyway, so these folks, they give us these 2 sets of logos that were sophomoric. They were logos that. So I work at a university. I work with the School of Business with a couple of professors that also do marketing. And I can tell you that if the undergrads had presented these logos to us as part of a project, I mean, I wouldn't have given it more than a B minus. And so the reason I bring this up is my expectation of these My expectation of students as they're learning is to potentially not do world-class work and to make a lot of mistakes. I mean, that's part of the learning. And I'm not paying them for this, right? They're basically doing this because their payment is, hey, adult, what do you think of my work now? How can I improve and be better and improve the world? Or this is my brilliant idea and I'm a prodigy and a genius. And then I'm like, oh my God, we have to show you to the world. But these people were, well-paid adults that have been doing this for a long time. And it's interesting being a outside third party because this company basically is an internal marketing company for a very large company. And I'm going to use the word company 4 more times. And they are employed by the same company that wants them to do work for them. And I state that because if you've ever worked with like a marketing company or a marketing agency or an ad agency, I mean, every single customer is a new customer, right? So they get Toyota and they get Procter & Gamble, or they get Steve's Tire Factory, and it's all different brands, multiple verticals, and that sort of thing. And so they have to come up with these new, fresh ideas. At least that's been my experience working with them. And the downside, I think, for these folks is that they're in their own bubble. Now, it's a big bubble. It's a very large company. But they, and I know I'm kind of dancing around this, and I hate people that do that, but my point is that the name of the company is not relevant. And for the sake of argument, let's just say it's IBM. But it doesn't matter. They have so many products and so many ways that they infiltrate your life. It's not like you have passion for it either way or whatever. So there's really a downside. I was reminded by the fact that you sit there and you work in your own company for a while, and you really lose sight of how the rest of the world is doing things because everyone in your sort of sphere believes that what they're doing is really excellent because they get praise. And they get their ego sort of built up by the people that are around them that need to be able to justify their presence in that company just like you do. So they're going to praise you, and then you're going to praise them, and then it's almost like this snowball effect of conscious incompetence. And so anyway, and this was all just on an hour-long conference call. I'm coming up with like all of these ideas that I'm like, man, I got to share this in the unorganized, totally ADHD way that I always do. So here I am. But anyway, so it brought me to the topic again of like expectations. And, I had this expectation that these people that do this for a living would really just blow me away. Like it would be really exciting. And they came up with like logos that had like 6 squares and it was a shade from light blue to dark blue. And the squares were, and then they had it that way. And then they had more squares. So instead of it being diagonal, it was like an X. And I'm like, is this one of these like you're recording this and you're going to play it back on YouTube? If you've ever seen, I'll put it below actually. If you've ever seen the spoof on a conference call and how ridiculous conference calls are, I'll put that below. It's kind of funny. I may even splice it in. Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do any editing. We're just going to upload this. There's a link below to the conference call. But I'll tell you what really made me say, okay, I have got to pause and I've got to do this video because this is the creative team. And the creative team used the phrase, here's why we came up with this, and it's what almost all other groups do too. And if it ain't broke, they didn't say ain't. And if it's not broken, I will use proper English. They did use proper diction. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And I was like, okay, hold on. You're the creative team, and I make creative synonymous with innovative and, coming up with new ideas. I'm creating. I'm not the repetitive team. I'm not the plagiarism team. I'm the creative team. And if you describe someone, well, he's the creative type, then that means they're sort of like on the edge. They're doing something that's not the norm. You say that like, oh, they're the creative type. And so this creative team was like, well, if it's not broke, you probably shouldn't fix it. I'm like, yeah, you should. You shouldn't break stuff. You should improve stuff. And the fact that you labeled it as broken tells me that your glass, if you're lucky, it's half full, Dr. Negative. And I'm going, I must be from another planet. Like, I can't work with these people. And I'm sitting there and I'm pinging my executive director on text as we're going through the webinar or the conference call. And I'm like, dude, am I like Mr. Negative here? And he's like, no, push, 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 because everyone else is being so politically correct and kind, and they're doing the whole review sandwich, right? Like, well, here's a good thing, and here's some bad stuff, but then I'm going to end it with a good thing. And then they even said, okay, Mike, what's your opinion? And I said, okay, so let me be clear. I don't care to date any of you on this call. So there's a very good chance I'm going to hurt your feelings. And I'm also not the kind of guy that does the sandwich, whereas there's one good thing, and here's one thing that I didn't like that you want to improve on, and then we'll sandwich it with another good thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I think all of this product is bad. It is uncreative, it is non-innovative, and it does not take the passion with which my group shows up, and it doesn't show that to the rest of the people that want to be part of our club because we are passionate, because we are innovative, and because basically our expectations are just a little north of bland. So, the neat thing about me is that I'm at the point in my life where I didn't storm off and do this. I was just like, what? You creative team? So, honestly, I'm going to spend like 20, 25 bucks on Fiverr, and I'm going to get like 2 or 3 logos done. Because I spent $16 or $17 on Fiverr, and I got 2 logos for my new company, all the files in AI format, in JPEG, in, everything. And I'm like, how much did these logos that I don't want to use any of them cost us so far? This is concerning. So anyway, I have no doubt there's a part of my behavior and my lens that is myopic. And there is probably someone out there that is a CEO of a very large, very successful company that says, oh, Mike, yeah, no, I can see why you have that opinion. No, you don't get it. Here's what you're not considering. You're not considering the Chinese. You're not considering the fact that there isn't clean water in West Africa. You got to think more global, Mike. So, maybe. But I can tell you that I do not feel like I want to lower my expectations. I feel like I want to surround myself with people that really want to exceed expectations, change the world, and walk around with your glass full. My glass is not, people that, oh yeah, your glass is half empty, half full. Glass has never been half full. It's either 100% full or it's 110% full, and I'm bathing in the awesome sauce that is filling 100% of my drink. But that's just me. And I'm also not in a bad mood anymore. Can you tell? So anyway, there's just a little bit of my thoughts today on some more thoughts. It seems like that's the theme of the last few weeks is expectations. So anyway, it's Mike's from livemyassoff.com. And I hope you're living the dream. Because if you're not living the dream, you might be surrounding yourself with people that have low expectations. So, just throwing it out there.